Alright, we are back for another stream this week. Hold on, what in the world? Everything's alright, it's just something's not working correctly. Swap everything over, and we should be ready to go today. It feels like everything's too put together, and honestly that bothers me. But I think everything should be ready to go. So welcome back to another meeting at the game table this week. Yeah, I think. Gosh, it really does bother me. I really feel like I'm missing something, but I guess we'll figure that out as time goes on. But yeah, so as you can kind of see, and if for those who don't know, we got to Fontaine. Well, we've been at Fontaine for a bit actually, but we actually started the Fontaine quest, and now we're in the I think it's the Opera Epiclese. I think it's what it's called. And essentially, someone just got smashed by a gigantic water tank. So honestly, that's kind of how my day's going. And now, essentially, what our job is to do is to use this investigation tool and basically just start asking around, trying to figure out and piece together clues to kind of figure out what happened here, so we can make a case for Linny and Lynette, who are our new pals in Fontaine. So we'll start. I'm not gonna do those, like the actual highlighted ones, just yet, because I'm sure those will end it. I want to make sure we like ask everyone's opinion and ask around to everybody.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
Okay, yeah, real fast, and this holds everything we learn about it. So you can kind of see, has all the what are they called? Hold on, all the dialogues we have. This holds all the actual like physical evidence we find, things of that nature. But like he's just said, the random number selector has an issue with it. So we'll continue.
Told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
So essentially, what they're saying is that the random number generator was rigged.
With their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
So somebody rigged it so
them?
the girl was
That'll be a tall order.
so the girl was like purposely picked, not just
Then he
randomly
used the machine
picked.
to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That's not good.
That much checks out. Lenny reserved our seats for us too.
And then Paimon
Let's
still
just
has
see
the
why
glasses.
I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Yeah, but honestly, it's good information to have.
Even though it's bad for Lenny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Yep, that is true, Paimon. Random number selector. This device is used during Linny's magic performance to choose a lucky member of the audience. However, the guards have found that it will generate the exact same number no matter what. Clearly, someone tampered with it, which is not a good thing. Well, like Paimon said, that doesn't really help our case. So, let's explore, I guess, the crash site first. The broken magic box was left on the scene after the guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really hard. Well, yeah, considering it smashed the box. This is where the magic box was struck. If Cowell weren't inside the box at that moment, he might have dodged the falling water tank. What else is there? Okay. So we did all those. Oh, here's the rope. Something weird with the rope.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall.
It looks
The
burned.
rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so
Which-
quickly by fireworks?
So either Linny didn't realize it was a safety concern, or obviously there's foul
Why are
play.
you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
Because honestly, it is weird that the rope would just snap from that. Because the fireworks were pretty far out.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material. Most
Interesting.
of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
It seems to be flammable, like a type of flash cotton.
So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Special rope. This rope was used to suspend the water tank. It suddenly broke when the fireworks were being launched on stage. The investigation has shown that the location where the rope snapped was made of flammable material. Alright, let's see what else. Okay, so it looks like over here next. Okay, so this person, and then we'll go through the stands.
There. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Yeah, that would be nice to kind of know who they are.
It's not like
who
this
she
is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show.
Oh, that would
The Magic
stink.
Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Yeah, that's just weird.
No need to be so formal.
I
If you
feel
do
like
happen
people
to
don't
see
just
the
do
missing
that.
girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Information about the missing lady's identity. Halsey is the missing person. She's a famous painter and came to watch the magic show in order to take a break from her own creative work. She isn't known to have been entangled in the quarrels with any of the members of Lenny's magic troupe. So we're just getting more and more information, but all of it's not really helping us say it wasn't Lenny. Oh, there you go, new character. Or new person to talk to, I guess not new character.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too.
Well, you're a
If you
civilian,
find
so why are
any
you
new
here?
and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
You're a civilian, get out.
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Yeah, why are you here? You're a civilian.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it.
That is fair,
It's
though.
just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice, Lynette perhaps, jumping atop the water tank or something like that.
I
When
mean,
the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
I guess
Wait,
that would make sense.
Wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
That's kind of what I'm thinking, too.
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Then wouldn't the water case have started to swing a bit?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
But he's not wrong about the loud thud.
That
That
does
has to be
remind
important.
Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Strange sound during the magic show. During the switching performance, there was an audible thump that many audience members heard. And yes, I will agree, Paimon's mustache is adorable. It definitely is a shock factor at first, though. Like, I remember when I first played through this on my own, like, my main account, just watching her all of a sudden pull that out, I'm like, first of all, where did you have that? Like, where are you just holding a mustache on your person? And I mean, obviously, second of all, it's adorable, but like, warn me next time, I guess. Jeez. It looks like an ordinary box, but a linear move Oh, hold on. What in the world? That went way too fast. Moved instantly from stage to being inside of it. How did he do it? I mean, it would be nice if we were told. Obviously, we have to wait on it, but is there any? I don't know if there's any more small pieces of evidence in the crowd. Doesn't seem like it. I think our next thing is probably to go out and move past. Let me. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the mic. Yeah, and I think this is the last one in
Still
here.
talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Considering I'm talking to Lynette through the conversation happening between Molly and Lenny, it's mighty weird. Wait, that's it?
Lenny's still talking to the. I think someone will be.
No, that's literally it. Okay. I've had weirder conversations, so that's fine. Oh. Hello, new conversation.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Oh?
Huh? You mean us?
Well, she's not talking to anybody else.
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but
I mean,
who
our
are
clothes
you?
definitely do not match the style.
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes
I
and
think
providing
we-
protection
that's why
to
we were
solving
asking.
conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm
Boss, she
Melus.
definitely looks like a
Mademoiselle's
boss.
various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
She's even flanked by the two guards.
Boss. Mademoiselle. What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Sorry, hold on. I did see your thing. I was just because I figured you didn't say it right. Because I was like main store. I was like, but yeah, no. This is not my main account. I have. How far am I? Right now, I'm in. Goodness, I'm in the. I don't want to. Actually, I don't want to spoil too much. But I'm in the. I think it's like the second part of Fontaine's Archon Quest. If that makes any sense. I'm not sure how to describe it. But I'm like past this part. I've been to here before.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
I never wanted to have my personal account mixed up with my streamer account, just for a lot of reasons. I think it'd be weird if I just all of a sudden started streaming and I was I think I'm like level oh gosh. What is it? I think it's like 57 or 58. I feel like it'd just be weird having an AR 57, 58 account all of a sudden and being like, hey, we're done with all the Archon quests.
All merely trifling details.
So I wanted to
Never
start
mind.
all over and stream
now,
everything.
Back to the situation at hand. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Oh, well, look at
Really?
that.
We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now.
Glad we have someone on our side.
But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Right. Sure. Let's go with intuition as a.
Farina sure was quick to point the finger
as a
at
natural
Linny
way of
without
doing
any
things.
decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
I love that.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro
Farina
Archon.
literally just like accusing someone and then not backing down from it because...
What's your opinion?
Well, I can't do that.
I must admit
My
that
pride.
she can be interesting at times. But liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
I appreciate that viewpoint, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me.
I mean...
In your opinion, do you
Okay.
think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
I mean, personally, no. Whether the game gives you those options.
Well,
Oh, not always. Nice. Your maintenance on the next part of Fontaine Archon Quest. Yes. I think it's the next part. What is it, like Act... It'd be like Act 4... How is it? I think it's like Act 4 Part 2 or 3. It's either 2 or 3. I'm not sure which one I'm on. But I am far... Like, I know I'm farther than this. I know that for certain. So I do kind of know what's gonna happen with this. But there are like smaller details that I do forget, so... Like, I completely forgot about this Navia meeting until literally walking out and then seeing the dialogue cut out. I'm like, oh, right, there's a Navia scene
And
here,
why
my bad.
would that be?
Not always. Doing so makes it easy for the truth to fall by the wayside. Something serious like a trial should be treated like entertainment. I mean, really, I believe both, but...
See, Silver and Maloose? I told you they'd be different.
Well, I mean, we are
Most
outsiders, so
astute
I
of
mean...
you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors.
It was a test?
Now, I need to make some
Glad we
preparations,
passed.
following
Whoops.
which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait, what?
wait, since when did we become assistants?
Good answer, Paimon.
Oh, well, I can be the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
You said, what was it? You don't like Melissa's voice. I mean, that's... Honestly, voice acting is definitely subjective. I can like see the whole point of view. I have a few voice actors that I'm kind of like... I don't hate, because I try not to hate anybody who's trying their best, but I'm also like... Sometimes I feel like you don't match your character. Like, you did a good job voice acting, it's just your voice acting didn't match what was the character. Which sometimes it's not even their fault, it's just wasn't the
Far
right
be it
person.
from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister?
Literally
And what
looking
about
at
you over
Lamine
there?
while saying that.
What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
No, honestly, that's like the face
I
of
have nothing to add.
Yeah, that's totally the face of nothing
alrighty
going
then.
on. He's merely
We'll be
observing and
making
watching.
some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
Well, glad to meet Navia. I don't remember... I'm gonna check upstairs. I don't think there's any parts upstairs that we actually need to check. Because I know the second you do that, it's gonna start the next sequence. So I wanted to... I don't believe there's anybody up here. Doesn't look to be. That's fine then. We can go over here and we can go into the next part. Just always smart to at least check.
Sorry, but
no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
I definitely do like the Melazines?
After the Chief
Or however you
Justice
say
gave
it.
the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
They did a very, like, it's a
So,
very unique
the
design.
missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
What about during the show?
Doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure,
I mean, you're definitely asking the right questions.
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
I think I did say it right,
So,
Melazines.
it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be useful info.
I do kind of feel bad for this Melazine, because I would totally have wanted to watch the show too. That kind of stinks. Entrance and exits to the Opera House. No one left the Opera House during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave. Which, honestly, I feel like clearing your identity doesn't do anything, because that means they could just clear their identity and then disappear off the face of the earth. Or give you a fake identity, which giving a fake identity would be even worse.
Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we?
Oh, okay, well, cut Paimon off there, but
Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
Lenny's definitely a sweet talker, though. He's very good at swooning the audience. Which makes sense since he's a magician, but, you know.
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and we'll be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Well, I guess we're gonna have a more packed team.
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I mean, this is true, though.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
It is kind of cool we get to actually see how this magic trick worked.
Huh? Below stage?
Because it's definitely
Yes,
something
a
I would
world
never
of
have
secrets
expected.
is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
I noticed a box.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Oh yeah, they got a point there. Whoops.
Good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back of the door isn't the same.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Does that mean there's another box inside the box?
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Once again, this is kind of wild. Seeing this kind of stuff in action is just something I can't believe.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
And this passage linked the two boxes together.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
I think it's even more impressive that you got a random audience member that wouldn't even know what happened.
Right!
They just think they're genuinely being transported.
And you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Yeah, say
And
perks
that's
of
my favorite part
perks
of
of
this
being
trick.
twins in magic.
Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow, every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
You can tell a lot of thought was put into this.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would.
Yeah.
But as you saw,
things didn't
Cal was
happen.
in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off.
I know I wouldn't have. Jeez.
Yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Even though he probably could.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Linny is pretty impressive when it comes to matters of diversion and trickery. The magic trick. Linny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box instead of a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Linny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Meanwhile, having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of the onstage interactions, which would have worked like a charm if, once again, onstage magic box structure. The magic box on stage has an additional layer to its rear, in which Lynette, in Linny's clothes, remained hidden. She would appear at the end of the magic trick and lead people to believe that Linny had been able to instantly move to the box on the other side. Jeez Louise. Audience side magic box. The magic box at the center of the audience stand has 2 layers, and beneath it is the entrance to an underground tunnel. This was how the lucky audience member was meant to have been transported without the audience noticing. Oh, hold on. There we go. So I was trying to click it and I wasn't clicking. Oh my goodness, there's a lot to examine here. We can examine the lever first. This should be a control device for the trolley. It seems to be able to operate automatically. Next one. Examine ladder. A ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above. This one?
Huh. What's this?
It looks almost like a...
Looks
like a hook.
Tied to the end of a rope.
Almost like a grappling gun,
There's
but
all kinds of odds and
without
ends
the
here.
gun part. More just like grappling. Lenny didn't mention this either.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
It is kind of weird that it's just a random basic grappling gun without the gun. Dropped hook rope. A rope that has fallen to the ground. A metal hook has been tied to one end of the rope. Its use is unclear. I mean, you can say that again. This one right here.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which,
The entire floor is soaked,
why
actually.
would there be water here?
Maybe it's for a trick.
Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
I love the way she said that. Think about it later. Broken flower vase. There are many pieces of a broken flower vase on one side of the tunnel. All the water within has been spilled. Judging from the distance, it seems unlikely that it was knocked over by the trolley meant to transport the magic box. Yeah, that is kind of weird because that was a lot of water. Is there anything else over here? There is. Okay, so let's do everything over here first.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her
Really?
clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
I thought she was green. Like, I thought she was wearing green clothes, but alright. Linny didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Her glasses have changed.
Ugh.
Unless I've
This
been
is so
missing it.
confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
I feel like I'm missing something, because I could have sworn that the glasses were more clear than they are right now. Unless I'm just going... Unless I'm losing it. I don't know. The young lady's clothes. The clothes belonging to Halsey. The lady who went missing were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Here's a track. High precision is required to complete this magic show, and tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay on its designated course. You can definitely see that again. I didn't even say just seeing the trolley is impressive. Is it? Do you like push it, or is it like actually run on electricity? Kind of curious. All right, there's 2 more things we have to check. Or sorry, 3 more. All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. Alright, that's nice to know, I guess. The trolley is crucial for transporting the magic box to the other side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan. And then the final one over here, which is the vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
That's absolutely true. Other than those that go through the magic box. Yeah, so there's no way you could have gotten out.
Right.
That's weird.
Let Paimon write that down.
Tunnel vent. The tunnel vent looks like it could allow one person to passage, barely, but leaving along with the missing lady seems like an unrealistic prospect.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
You almost gotta wonder if there's like a false wall somewhere. I definitely know I thought that at the beginning. Because I honestly, this one definitely stumped me. I wasn't very sure what was the answer here. There's like so many things it could be.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
I mean, I guess.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable.
That's kind of the weird
I
part.
wonder if Irina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
I mean, really, though, the only reason why Linny and Lynette are being...
So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
The only reason that Linny and Lynette are actually being accused is because nobody else could figure out somebody else. So they're just the most likely person.
This is how a trial goes in the Opera House.
And the fact
During
that
the proceedings,
Farina just
the Chief Justice
decided
and the
to
Oratrice
get them in trouble.
will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice will too. Which is kind of interesting considering the machine... The
That's
Oratrice
right.
is a machine.
This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes
that is
any kind of
wild.
favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
That is, that's a lot.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides?
Yeah, I don't like
I
that.
thought Neuvillette called the shots.
I don't
In
know.
practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
No, yay.
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned
That's
that
kind
we
of
might be
aggravating.
colluding with outside parties.
I didn't even
or
do
that
anything
we
and
might
I'm
find outside
trapped.
help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Gee, Silver, calm down.
Whoa, whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
I mean, let's be honest here. I wasn't even
In that
expecting
case,
to eat,
let's
so
just sort
that's
out
cool.
our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Not
mean,
tonight,
what
I guess.
better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon, you too, calm down.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh?
What?
Here? But
I think
how?
making and
Understood,
finding
demoiselle.
are one's
Everyone,
easier than the
please
other.
come with me.
And my money's on finding it being easier.
Wait, you're carrying
do you even hold that on your person?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
Where are you holding it? You have nothing on
I have
you.
eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Where are you holding that? What?
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snack soon enough.
Nah, her bodyguards are
Quite the
wild.
interesting group.
It must be a Spinadu Rasula thing. I mean, honestly though, Navia methodically handles the ingredients and pulls fresh macarons out of the oven in short order.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Yes, Malus and Silver, you guys tried your hardest.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven.
Navia's
There's
pretty
3
cool,
for each
honestly.
of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea
This
is
is
ready
very
to be
true.
served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
I mean, I want to offer them to take a break, but technically they're not working under me, so I'm not allowed to say that. So just
no
thank
need
you.
for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then.
Nice little tea
Down
and
to
snack
business.
break.
As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume
I
that
love my
Linny and
squeaky
Lynette
chair.
were not alone within it.
It's great.
Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Yeah. Because you totally would have been picked for that. There's no hiding that smashed tank. So apart from the twins, we're left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this third person even exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person.
Which is aggravating,
But
honestly.
the only people left to consider are both technically victims. Whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked. Which, I mean, technically is not correct, but we'll go with
That's
that for
right.
sake of story.
And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
But that is also why you can dismiss it, is because she genuinely didn't know them.
From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
Well, dang, Paimon.
5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest.
I mean, that's...
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Paimon just ate them.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine if you ate them, you ate them. I mean, literally, though.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you?
Oh,
If
don't
Paimon
sound
ate
so
those
upset.
2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
She then starts
All right,
sinking
we
to the
get it.
ground.
Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Maloose, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
She's making more?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Oh, there's really no need to do that. That's...
We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
No, nobody's listening.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Yes, Silver, we get it. You're okay. We get it. You guys are ready.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
It's honestly really cool. Does the second round of baking over the 2 missing... Our description that follows does not yield much
Well,
progress.
That's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Oh boy, this will be interesting.
Thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
Considering we have no evidence, really, besides what was told to us in the case.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Maloose, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of third person being involved. Neither Cowell nor Halsey had a motive, but after having talked to Navia, the likelihood of a third person being involved seems very low too. Yeah, because it really doesn't make sense.
It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
Wait until the following day. Oh no, it's so very difficult. Turns it all the way to 8 o'clock. Honestly, that's just something I never understood about this game. Why we have to, like, actually manually change the time. Like, why can't I just go to the mission itself and, like, click on the mission and then having it change the time for me? Is this... Oh, this is the second floor. Very interesting. It would be nice, though, just for the game to change the time itself instead of having to actually go in and change it. But I don't think that's ever going to change.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts, but let's take things step by step. Which really is all we can
Good
do.
plan. Impossible things don't just happen.
Maybe Frina
We'll
will
get
say
to the
something.
truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Well, 100% she doesn't, considering I don't even think she did her
Thanks,
research.
Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
We stayed up basically all
Best of
night
luck to you.
figuring it out, and she didn't even look.
Ah, finally,
Well,
you're
time
back.
for the trial.
Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
Yeah.
No.
That's an
We're already
understatement.
very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed.
Farina,
That was to be
we're
expected,
gonna have
of course.
issues.
The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
I say we have a sword fight and see who
Since
wins.
both parties are present, I declare that the
I
trial
don't think
regarding
Farina
the
would like
magic
that,
show
though.
incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
cool. I don't have to do anything
I
for
will
this.
explain
Thanks, Lenny.
while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Leonard cleverly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone in the audience
Thank
is
you,
stunned.
Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Oh gosh, what is she going to try to say?
Of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
Is she even pointing the right way?
There is no way you could have been in the box
Oh,
the
okay,
whole
she is,
time
alright.
if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Thank you, Lenny.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all?
Oh,
Nothing that
jeez.
might leave an impression of any kind?
Lenny the Thud.
No, nothing.
Lenny the Thud.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a
Oh,
thud.
darn it.
One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah. How could Lenny not know about that sound? Which, that's, no.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Oh, great.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They probably represent the Oratrice's stance on the trial. Which means we're losing.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
But honestly, though, if you didn't hear that sound, that would
I
be
have armed myself
pretty weird to
do
lie
far
about
more
it.
than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
Uh-oh. And now, that's not good.
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
Ah, great.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I'd like to talk with
Then
my
perhaps
clients
you
for
could
2
tell us
minutes.
everything that happened during that 1 minute.
Because obviously somebody's not telling us the truth.
Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
I love how she's not even trying to win by
Thing I
using
made all those
rationale.
preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
She's just trying to win by getting us to argue, which is an awful court case.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
Lenny and Lynette are Fatui. Yeah, that would have been nice to know
Order!
beforehand.
Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to reestablish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth.
Which technically is
Are
irrelevant,
these claims
but
true?
there's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lenny has concealed his identity, this could have all been set up beforehand. Yeah, that would have been nice to know. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Oh, boy. And so now we're really losing.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Permission to speak, which...
Granted.
My client... my client has definitely withheld some key information.
In that case, what is your request?
It is kind of crazy how we're literally asking for a brief adjournment, which is...
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
Also why I don't
The
think that
defendant deceived their
court
own
cases should be
attorneys.
operas.
What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought.
Oh my gosh.
In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Oh, jeez. Like, I've heard, while the court is adjourned, you meet with Lydia and Lynette backstage in the Opera House. I've heard that Farina gets better, but honestly, right now, it's hard for me to like her. She's a tad bit too stuck up for my taste.
This is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Not sorry doesn't even cover it, really.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm
The
very
one time
sorry.
I'll just agree with that. That is
I know you're
100% true.
angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vitui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset.
I mean, considering
But
they've
our
done a lot of
organization
cruel
is very,
things to me.
very
Yeah.
large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends.
So they lied to us.
That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being
Technically
completely
hiding.
transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
As I say, technically lying, not lying, but hiding the truth is lying in some sense.
Right.
So sure.
You be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too.
Is that like the plural
I'm
or like
asking
the
you to trust me.
normal of like
I am
Fatui?
no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Gosh, I'd hope they wouldn't lie.
Of course.
Or they're gonna be
I'll
hoes.
answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right.
That is kind of crazy that you can do that much in a
the
minute.
audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
The fact that he did all
that
that in
air
a
vent was
minute
created
is
during the
crazy.
construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
And what did you find?
Well, nothing.
Well, that's great.
As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't help us. Why do you want to understand how the ore trace operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe in the facts. I will defend you from these charges, and I believe that judgment will be dispensed as it should.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two.
We definitely need something else.
If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
The adjournment's over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
I don't exactly remember, but I think it's because Linny wasn't actually there at the time. Which means he couldn't have done the thing if he was sneaking around. Linny's statement. Linny claimed that he headed to the chamber containing the ore tree's core upon entering the tunnel and did not witness a crime taking place, and thus did not hear the thud. The voice in the ore tree's core chamber. Linny claims to have heard a mysterious voice within the chamber that houses the ore tree's core, within the Opera House's underground structures. Alright, well, time to go back to the trial. Is this... I'm just looking at this room, and I'm like, is this even accessible all the time? It just makes me wonder, like, if I could just travel back in here and just come to this room anytime I want. The brief adjournment ends, and the nail-biting trial can reconvene.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial.
All right, can
when
we
last we left
start,
off,
please?
Mr. Linny acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
And hold on, I'm gonna...
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention...
I wanted to click the information that we gathered so far.
Let's revisit that scene from Linny's perspective.
Yep, and here's the new, what do you call it? Oh gosh, it's almost like a trial, the trial thing, and how you like go through trials. Based on the opposition's accounts of events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous. I think it's erroneous, but I don't know what that word exactly means. Assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Sorry, inferences. My bad. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The Ortrees will display such shifts clearly. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Okay.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
No, so there's where it starts to change.
He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the Opera House, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her.
Sure?
At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed.
I mean, but that's not right, because you can't access the tunnels unless you're using both stage performance entrances, which should be impossible.
So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
Okay, so the first one is correct, and looks like so is the last one, technically. Even though it wasn't Linny that did it, but these are...
That's the truth behind what happened.
Because, like, obviously, this will probably change once we start changing these, since it wasn't Linny that put the person in there,
Does
but...
the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
Well, yeah.
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw.
Alright, let's do this. So, first of all, Linny did enter the tunnel as a countdown began. There's not really refuting that. He did do that. The loud sound was from Linny and Halsey's fight, but Linny claimed that he heard nothing in order to cover up the truth. Well, obviously he didn't fight. He headed the chamber containing the Oratory's core upon entering the tunnel. So it should be this one. I just want to check all of them. Entrances and exits of the Opera House. So that was probably... That's not it yet. Claimed to heard a mysterious voice within the chamber that houses the Oratory's core. Young lady's clothes. Strange sound in the magic show. So I think this first one's Linny's statement is that he immediately ran there. What is... Oh, it just kind of heads out. Okay. So yeah, the first one's Linny's statement, I think.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Okay, so that one's refuted. Linny knocked Halsey out using the vase and removed her clothes to prevent her from being identified. However, was Linny really in the tunnel at the time? Well, if we're going in order of events, immediately after that, it would be him hearing the strange sounds. It's not entrance and exits, because that doesn't really matter in the circumstance. The clothes don't really matter. I'm going to take a guess the clothes maybe go right here. Right in the fourth section. Because that's when he comes out and he'll see the clothes. So I'm going to take a guess the voice? It is a
Linny went
voice.
to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Okay, so there's that. Walked in on Linny, so the latter knocked him out with a vase, leading to the victim's death. The existing evidence indicates that when Linny returned to the tunnel, the crime had already taken place, and all Linny saw was the lady's clothes.
Linny did not
That was
take
a
part
nice
in
and
the
easy one.
underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
And I think, yeah, that should be completed.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Oh, we have to actually click here. Okay, we'll click. Oh, he's got
When
this.
the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored.
I do like this picture. This picture of him, like, sneaking through the door. I don't know why. It's just the way it's depicted is cool.
Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room.
An empty room.
Something was amiss. He returned immediately.
I love the way Paimon said that. An empty room.
The crime scene had already developed.
Sounds like a
by the
true
time he
crime
reached the
documentary.
tunnel again. And in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time.
Oh, jeez, I keep forgetting you have to actually click.
He
Whoops.
reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Paimon. Let's go. Oh, we're finally back on equal footing. That's nice. We're still not winning, but we're on equal footing. That's good.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
I do want to check this, though. Because obviously we've already read all these. We got all these? We are missing one more. Which concerns me. Because I feel like we should have all of them.
In other words,
Hopefully we'll grab it
you
later.
believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with a premeditated fashion. However, you say Cowell bumped into Linny by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
Paimon's going off.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Paimon's going right now.
Your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you happen to remember how you refuted Linny's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask?
Because he wasn't in the magic box.
He wasn't.
He was in the tunnels. Your claim has now become my weapon. Wait, why isn't it? Oh, irrelevant. I'm like, well, then why are you? Okay, so you can't pick any of these. Missing lady's identity. It's not that one. Strange sound. I'm gonna take a guess at strange sound. Which is the evidence that Linny wasn't in the tunnel when the crime took place? I mean, technically, I would think about the fact that Linny's statement, but I guess it'd be the strange sound, right? I'm gonna take a guess.
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance.
I did get it right. Okay, cool.
This means that when the crime happened,
It just felt too straightforward.
Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof. How do you like that?
Well played.
I mean, the only issue is really
To think you'd use such logic.
you have to use the accused
Well then,
accused testimony,
if it
which is
wasn't
a bit
Linny
weird.
Who committed the crimes? Then who was it?
Do we even have enough evidence for that? Select the gear icons in the interface to check the corresponding case questions. Select answers and fill all the empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining options. Once you've answered all the questions correctly, you can complete this logic chain. The guard's investigation report indicates that the firework released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cowell in the box below. If Linny is no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Linny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box instead of a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underground, and Linny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of the onstage interactions. The clothing belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Who was the only person who could possibly have committed the crime? Besides Cowell's death? Okay, is it just gonna click on it, or what is it gonna do? Is it gonna, like, at least let me explain?
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member.
Okay, there you go.
Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
I mean, honestly, from reasonable selection, this basically said there
have been a third?
It basically says there's not a third person. And, like, yeah, she could have done it, but how would if she had tampered with the equipment? The only other person would be Cowell.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Which, I mean, it sounds weird since he's the one who ended up losing his life, but, I mean, it's about the only person you could really think. Ah, our hypothesis is correct. Look at that.
Huh? That can't be right.
Even Paimon's questioning me, like, are you confident in your answer?
The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting!
Once again,
Let's
her voice is
hear
getting on
your
my nerves.
reasoning, then.
Which is the point, because she's
What I must do
supposed
next
to be
is recreate
annoying.
the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Oh boy. How can we envisage... Oh my goodness. Can they not use some words that I can't understand? Like, I would like to say that I can understand big words decently well, but I don't know what that means. Linny, as having been unable to interfere with... Interfere. Is that really how you spell interfere? I don't like that. I don't like how there's an E in the end. That bothers me. Well, whatever. That's fine. With the crime. How Linny couldn't have been a part of the crime. So we had to find that
It would have been
first.
tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
So he couldn't have interfered with the crime because he wasn't there? Is that like what I'm supposed to be finding here? Is that what it's asking? Honestly, I remember it from my playthrough and other people's playthrough, seeing it online. This part is so confusing. There's just a bunch of stuff thrown at you.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
Maybe
Linny
this
was not
Linny
in the
one?
tunnel at
Because that's him not being able to interfere with the crime? How can I prove there's an altercation in the tunnel?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
No, that's not it.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Actually, if I think about it, how can I prove there's an altercation in the tunnel? It'd probably be the thud, right? That's what I'm guessing. It'd be the thud.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash
Yeah.
between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
It literally says clash. So, who's the prime suspect currently? I mean, like we just said, it was
The
Cowell.
deceased's name is Cowell.
So I'm gonna put that because that's what I was thinking. Where did the missing Halsey go? She didn't go in the vents, right? Because you can't go through the vents because Linny would have been there. Can't go through the front door. Did she just what? Change clothes? She would have had to like change clothes and maybe blend in with the crowd.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a guess she changed clothes. Is this right? No? Oh, okay. Okay, no, that's cool.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Oh, so wait, if nobody could have left, then maybe she's still inside? Is that what we're trying to say? Nope. Okay, scratch that.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely
Okay, well that doesn't make sense. Why is it the vents if you couldn't have gone into the vents? That doesn't make sense. Oh. It's one of those you have to fail. Got you. I get it now. The criminal must have understood the methods behind Linny's magic and must have been in a position to easily modify the equipment. Leaving aside how he ended up losing his life, Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. Linny was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. That would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, So even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would have been discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff.
Really, Farina?
And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far.
I love how they can't, how she can't just get a whole thing.
Why not consider a different track?
Like, she doesn't have to explain all of her reasoning, but we have to explain every minute
Just
detail.
like the trick as it transpired,
it's a bit
the end
ridiculous.
result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely.
Yep. Good point, Paimon.
And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Magic, escaping from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water? That doesn't help me.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents. But do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Yeah, I love how we lose points because we can't explain it in time.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on a second. Ooh. Lumine just...
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
Okay.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Alright, Lumine, I like where you're going. What are we doing here? Where did the missing Halsey go?
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the
Okay, so essentially saying not through the front doors.
It would have been tough for both people to
So
fit.
not the vent.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So...
And we already established that this isn't it, so I
The
mean...
vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence.
Oh, okay.
The water.
Apparently the water is important. It has to be because we tried every other option, so it has to be the water, I guess.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, that's not good.
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
Farina, we're literally
Person
talking.
ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cowell's personal effects. We might find something there.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Yeah, but we have grounds
Even
to search
so,
it.
I trust the traveler's judgment.
I say you better trust my
the
judgment.
Truth must be out there somewhere.
I'm the only one who can help you.
Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on it.
Mm-hmm.
But given
For
that we
sure.
aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
And we actually have grounds for it since we have reason. It'd be different if we didn't have just
Come up
cause.
with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
I don't know why we're talking to her, though.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
After some time, a guard returns with news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste.
Uh-oh.
We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
Nouvelette knows something.
The note's contents
see
also
you.
indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice.
That's also not good.
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times.
Uh-oh.
One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty.
Ooh. Guess who was
The
right?
notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject.
Uh-oh.
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could
That's
something
gotta
so
be bad.
ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Well, I said Navia found
Let's
something.
go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Ooh. Nouvelette got mad.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sure that's not the end of this case,
If
but
we
we'll
uphold
keep
this
going.
hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all.
Ooh?
Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Water from the primordial sea. The liquid the guards found in Cowell's luggage seems to have the ability to dissolve Fontainians into water. Which is terrifying to think of, might I add. Who is the prime suspect currently?
The deceased's
Cowell.
name is Cowell.
What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution? Well, I'm not going to click on this because I just know it's not the burnt rope. That doesn't make sense.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
Well, it can't be Lynette because it says item, and Lynette I don't think is an item, so...
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Inner layer of that box. I mean, that's also... Yeah, it's an item, but it's more of a thing. Or not a thing, but you know what I mean. It's not really like an item you'd pop. The only thing I could think of is the hook popping. Maybe because I remember the balloons. Maybe it's popping. That's why I keep saying popping. I think it's because of the
Seems like
balloons.
the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Because I don't know where else you would have held the water unless you planned to open the door and splash. But that wouldn't make sense because you have the opportunity to accidentally miss them if you just do that. I think it's the hook. What item did the culprit use to dissolve Halsey?
The water from the primordial sea should
So obviously it's the water, because that's obviously what we just talked about. Did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime? That was the
rope that strung the water
and that was the
tank
water
up
tank.
was lit by the fireworks and cut. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank.
So when the tank fell down, it splashed all the water, and then all the water inside the tank would just, or not the tank, the box itself would disappear. So it's definitely the rope. Okay, scratch that. Not the rope. It would be the on stage one?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage.
What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime? Oh,
I remember there was something.
it's asking what they used to actually, like, what they use with the vials and stuff. Like, how they actually put the water inside the thing. Which, like I said, the only other thing I remember seeing, which it's super long ago, but I'm surprised I remember this, were all the balloons and stuff that they put inside to kind of make it more spectacular. So that's why I think that's the whole hook thing that pops it. And once again, obviously I played this before, so I do know what happened.
Ahem. It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
I will say, though, I feel for the people that literally did not understand this part, because this is way too confusing. And, like, things go inside and out, and it's not very easy to understand. So I totally feel people who didn't get this on the first try. It makes perfect sense.
And the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box.
Yep.
When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
Yeah, but the issue is we have to explain
actually links together a lot of the more confusing
we have to
pieces of
explain why
evidence.
she didn't dissolve in the water. That's the issue.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person?
Oh, nice one, Farina.
What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
Uh-oh.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence.
This could either be good
I
or
shall now
bad.
invite him on stage to share it with us.
Oh boy, here we go.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
Hold on, I know we're at a really intense part. What did you... Hold on, I have to pull up chat because I can't read that really fast. Getting annoyed at someone who's streaming with their friend or anything like that. Make viewer on chat just like statue or no one there. I'm sorry, can you reword that? Like, I kind of get what you mean, but, like, I'm trying to understand. I want to understand exactly what you meant. So could you, like, kind of describe it in a different way? Once again, no offense. I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. I have, like, a good idea, though.
I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent.
Okay.
Having
At least now
made
she's got that right.
modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea.
Okay.
But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
Just ignore the viewer, even they know they're streaming, not doing anything, not just doing gaming Skype with their friend. And I mean, some people are into that, which I know. Like, obviously, I'm not into it either. I get it, but there's definitely an audience for everything. Like, for me, I can't do like sleeping streams, because I mean, really, sleeping streams, the person is not interacting with chat at all. They're genuinely just sleeping on stream, and people like that, which I don't know why, but it's also not my taste. So like, I'm not discrediting you. I 100%, I 100% agree. There are some times where it's like, I would wish you do something, but it's also maybe just not your type of content, which, once again, I'm not discrediting you. Like, I 100% understand, because I don't find that content interesting at all. But it would be different though if they're not marking it on the same category, right? If they're not even like playing the game at all, they're just watching someone else play it and then talking with them, which one could argue, I guess that's a form of content, but I don't know. It's a weird realm being on Twitch, because people can do so many different things, and there's somehow a interest in it. It's very interesting. The internet is a very interesting and vast place. There are certain categories of Twitch that I'm still finding out about exist, which I've been on Twitch for, I think I'm approaching a year now, and I'm still finding out these new categories. And I've been streaming for a year. I've been watching for even longer. All to basically say, I agree with you. It's just sometimes some people like doing things that seem interesting. They're just focusing on their game, just completely ignoring the viewer. Oh, so you mean they're playing the game and not, like, chatting with viewers. I do get that, which I have their game in their front. Oh. Okay. I got you now. And yeah, it does, believe me. It stinks. It doesn't feel the best when people do that. But even so, first of all, ignoring viewers, sometimes it's just, when you start off, it's very hard to communicate with your audience. I know for me it was, oh gosh, how to describe it? It's very weird. It's weird not being able to like actually communicate with someone and only having to communicate through chat and then voice. It's kind of a weird thing. Like you're not used to it. It takes a while to get used to. So I'm not saying I'm not saying I know everything, which I'm not asking you to tell me everything. It'd be kind of weird if we had that whole like very personal talk on stream. But like, obviously sometimes they're new. Even if they're not new, sometimes they just don't like talking to chat, which I know it's weird, but some people just don't do it. And I know it hurts. And even in talking about friendships, believe me, I get it. Some friendships are really mean like that, and some people don't want to talk with you, which sometimes I'd argue that that's kind of a friendship you need to reevaluate if they don't want to talk with you.
Mr. Lenny?
Because I've had friendships like that too. It happens, and it really does stink, and I really feel bad for you. I'm sorry that happened.
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh wow, we just got demolished. Okay.
I can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this.
Yeah, we might be hosts here.
Using water as new evidence was too good a move. Oh, why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale.
We might be in trouble here.
Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move... Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Uh-oh.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Yeah, that is not how you do that.
Come on, don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic?
Navia,
I'll show you
you
an
are,
amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes.
Navia, you're gonna get in
Do
trouble.
the honors, Mr. Linney, if you would be so
You
kind.
can't do that in court cases.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
I love how Liddy's just like, what are you on? You need to get your eyes checked.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again?
Did they just move a gigantic... What are they doing?
And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance?
What's going on here?
Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry.
Oh,
Spina Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf.
They just carried a whole box on
As the
stage.
magic makers and stars of the show,
Makes sense.
I think
Happens.
I should leave the final performance to you.
Silver and Malus are just insane.
I understand.
Oh.
And voila.
I love how Lynette even adds the voila. That's fantastic.
Sorry for the interruption.
What is your point of streaming if you ignore the viewer? Oh gosh, hold on. If you ignore the viewer, even your stream is a stream for interacting with viewers. Yeah, I know. It is a tad bit weird. I won't, like, listen, I won't say it's not weird. It is a tad bit bizarre, but some people, and sometimes even it's just like chatting with the other viewers. Because I know that's what, that's kind of my dream for this whole channel, is just having an audience that can chat with itself. So even if I'm not able to, like, because say I have over like 1,000 viewers watching, I can't talk with 1,000 people at once. It's not possible. I can, like, you know, take one and talk with one and then talk with another, but I can't talk with everyone. That's why, like, when I get to 50 followers, I want to make like a Discord, so then I can have people just genuinely start chatting in the Discord. So then even if you're not watching streams, you have friends you can talk to while I'm watching stream. So you don't have to actually watch my stream, you can just have friends on there. I'm trying to, basically what I've always said for my Twitch page, I've always wanted to make a community, not a channel. So like, if I make money off this, cool. But if I don't, it's a hobby. I've never actually cared about making money. All this has always been about is community. Some people don't like that though. Some people just want to try to, you know, make as much money or just do streams because people want to talk in the chat or something. I know, and I know it's weird. Like, I can't describe it, but there's so many different things that people are like or are into that there's always a... yeah, I know. I'm not going to say it's not annoying. But once again, there's a... what is it? I think it's a niche for everything. Everyone has their own little niche that they like, and I guess some people might like not talking to their streamer.
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
I don't know.
So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
But once again, I definitely apologize. No, not apologize, but I definitely feel you, and I'm sorry for that. It doesn't feel good when stuff like that happens.
The proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
Thanks for being honest.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there, and I'd never been caught before.
Is she the person that we tried to catch when we first came to Fontaine?
And I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the
Oh
act.
my gosh, it's literally her. Everything comes full circle.
No wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me.
Yeah, I bet that would have been
He even
terrifying.
mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening.
It actually would have been really cool if he did do
Then I got
that.
water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me.
Okay, and I will say, I am right. Paimon's Paimon's glasses earlier definitely did have swirls, and they don't now. I feel really happy knowing that I was correct and not going insane, because I totally saw them earlier with swirls and was so confused.
Down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box.
Oh,
there was nowhere
okay.
to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes.
Wow,
I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they're practice hand at concealment, probably, which makes sense since she's a thief.
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
And now it's time to refute the Hydro Archon's previous reasoning.
We need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
I say, Farina's gonna lose this one. Enter the tunnel, beginning the countdown, use ventilation staff to leave the tunnel, and did not participate in the dissolving of the young woman, which is true. Halsey dissolved. Cowell planned to use the prepared apparatus for the magic trick to dissolve Halsey inside the box. As Halsey has appeared completely unharmed before all of our eyes, Farina's conjecture no longer holds water. How would Halsey have reacted when the water from her primordial sea suddenly began to trickle in? Hold on. Begin to trickle in. Wait. Are we actually refuting something here? What if Halsey have reacted when the water... Hold on. A metal hook. Random number selector. Clearly someone tampered with it. Audible thump. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just turn this down a bit more. Because once again, everyone's getting loud in the house. Even though it's like, what? My time, it's like around about 10 o'clock at night. Jeez Louise. How would she have reacted if she had water dumped on her? Audible thump. I don't know. How would she have reacted? Someone tampered with it. It's not the random number generator. It's not the strange sound, because that's the fighting. Unlikely it was knocked over by the trolley meant to transport the magic box. I'm actually, is it the broken flower vase, maybe? Or no, wait. Is it? I'm so confused right now. What would Halsey have how would Halsey have reacted? Audible thump. I would have thought that's the altercation, but maybe that's the thump?
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Okay, well, I wouldn't have guessed that. So, that's fine. That happens, I guess. Infighting between Linny and Cowell. Linny wants all the credit and glory and wanted to get rid of all of his partners. As Halsey has appeared completely unharmed, Farina's conjecture no longer holds water, but there is evidence proving that a fight did indeed break out in the tunnel. Which is... I believe which is the broken flower vase, right? Yeah, because they used the flower vase.
It was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell.
And I just realized that this whole dialogue sequence and like evidence and stuff has been going on for like more than 30 minutes. Gosh, I forgot about how long this was. Linny knocked Cowell out. Then, using the method used to dissolve young girls, he got rid of Cowell and disguised it as an accident. As Halsey has completely unharmed, Farina's conjecture no longer holds water. After the fight, then, what did Halsey do? She changed clothes, like she said. Because she didn't want to basically be found out for, first of all, thieving, and at the same time, well, not at the same time killing Cowell, just at the same time not being a thief.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And then the last one should be right.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
Nice. All right, we have to click. Okay, we got it.
Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved.
Good. I bet that was a wonderful surprise for him.
He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box.
Which I'm sure worked, as you got a vase up to the face.
Broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box.
Hold on, let me... It's hard to find an enjoyable stream to watch. I mean, honestly, it is really hard to... Because, honestly, I can't sit through streams. I watch maybe, like, 10 minutes, and I get either bored or I have other things I want to do. So, honestly, good on you for being able to watch streams. I literally use YouTube. I can't use anything else but YouTube.
With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
But I'm sure there's a stream for you out there. I'm sure there's a stream for basically anyone. It's just a matter of finding it. And I know it's tough. It's never easy to find, you know, the content you want. But I'm sure it's out there.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
So that's why 2 of the macarons disappeared.
All the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Does Farina have anything she would like to add?
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements?
I think Farina just got destroyed.
Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
Nouvellette just called her out.
What? Are you reading my mind now?
I mean, you were walking away, though.
No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
I mean, it is kind of funny, though. I will admit. It is kind of funny that she's like a deflated balloon. Or just enjoyable at first, but changes later becomes some annoying update. Maybe I'm Squidward in real life. You know what? I feel that, though. Like, I can't describe it exactly, but I definitely feel like Squidward some days. Which, it's not a bad thing, being a quote-unquote Squidward. Because, you know, being, how would you describe it? I'm not going to say hard to please. But, like, being hard to please just kind of just means that you have higher standards, which can sometimes be bad, but it's not always a bad thing. It just means that you have standards for yourself, which is not terrible.
If there are no
it
objections,
just kind of happens.
Then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events.
And actually having standards for yourself means you actually know who you are, which not a lot of people figure out, so I think it's pretty impressive.
The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation.
Did he just like jump down
With some
from his
modifications
seat?
to the selector, he could ensure
What
that
the
the
heck?
pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed.
That is so creepy.
However,
with that
his
mask.
opponent was more capable
That
than he
mask
thought,
is terrifying.
and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house.
It really is like an opera,
As for Linny,
and then
he was in the underground structures
just
within the
appears.
opera house, and was thus ignorant
Just
of these
appears back on
happenings.
stage. Makes sense.
From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
I mean,
While
honestly,
there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
but the issue is he technically still could have been working with Cowell. Because we don't know who, because there's somebody else obviously that was working with Cowell. We just don't know who yet. I love that. That is such a cool animation for getting the oh gosh,
As
the
such,
verdict.
Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Nice. Hey, it
Great
wasn't
work,
just you,
partners.
Paimon.
Thank you all.
I'm glad you're
Thank
happy
you
though,
so
but it
much.
wasn't just you. Let's not celebrate just yet.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn.
Uh-oh.
How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
Well,
I
go
suspect
Farina.
that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
The one time Farina
I'm
actually
sure
did it
you
right
know
though.
what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Coupon Town?
I was just following orders.
What the heck is Coupon
We were
Town?
supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through,
That's
and
weird.
the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups.
Yeah, so you're right. Smart decision
Therefore,
is
you
to
would be
get
wise
protection.
to tell everything you know and seek the protection of the guards.
Exactly what he said.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration.
Oh, it
We've
literally
been in
is
this
a drug.
business for
That
a
is
while now. We have
wild.
made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Uh-oh. That's not good.
And now he can no longer talk.
Well, that's
Such
terrifying.
ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
You have to wonder how
An
that happened,
outrageous
though.
act.
How did that
All
even
present,
work?
Please submit to inspection immediately.
However, nothing is found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind after Vaughn disappeared. Or sorry, dissolved. Which once again, that
So, we're just going back now?
that animation is so unnerving. Just watching Vaughn literally just dissolve into nothing. The problem seemed to have been solved for now. We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Ooh. Being given the cold shoulder.
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just didn't wish to see anybody falsely accused.
I guess.
Gosh.
But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time.
I will say though, and I don't know, I might have seen it online. I don't know, maybe it is something that really made me started thinking. I do appreciate how we start seeing the traveler getting angry, because it's more of like a character thing. You're seeing that the Lumine is actually a character, not some self-insert, which I know people keep always complaining about all the travelers a self-insert, which obviously I've never had issues with. I love this game anyways. I love the story. It's very involving, even if the main character is a self-insert, which I actually think is a cool thing, but that's just me, I guess. But I like seeing Lumine get mad because it kind of fleshes her out as a character.
It's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
Like some other
that's right.
$1 billion or
and since we're here,
high dollar company movie that says they're your
would
father.
Would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there.
I will say that is
pretty
impressive.
To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
Sorry, the chair is going to be loud for a few seconds. I'm trying to readjust the chair, but it's the worst thing ever when it comes to trying to move.
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks.
Yeah,
he would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
Which, I don't know if
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
Darn, Paimon, I was just about to say that. You caught me before I could say it.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift.
Oh my.
I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
I bet he had the money to
As
cover
far
it
as
up.
outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Oh, nice. That's a fantastic thing.
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
Well, dang.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That is terrifying.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Go
Father,
the knave.
The knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also
can't really
quick to
blame him for that
destroy the
one.
noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
That's all in the past, though. The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans.
The Gnosis?
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
That's interesting.
She believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis.
It's hard to hate the Fatui when they do stuff like
Today's case has also
this.
proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy.
Yeah, that's not
Everyone
good
at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you, which, honestly, I don't blame Lumine. You can't really trust Lenny after
It's
that.
alright, I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
You know what? Thanks, Lenny. I understand that you're at least trying to be nice.
Bye, Linny.
You can also see Paimon's character there being really unsure about it all. Which, I mean, once again, I don't blame Paimon. It's hard to just accept the fact that your quote-unquote friend just basically betrayed your entire trust and being. That would make me pretty upset, too.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
I mean, it's not like we need to be here anymore, do we?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
Well, yeah, sorry.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Linny. I wasn't necessarily looking into the serial disappearances case. Even though we did end up finding that.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah. I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all.
And it's not like we don't have our own goals in
I
mind.
might have been too presumptuous.
I do feel bad about telling her no, though.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me.
That's it.
Wait,
you
shall
have
we
to feel
a
bad
farewell
about
meal?
it, but...
You know, to commemorate our time as partners.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway,
That's a good way to
it would
live by,
just be a
honestly.
meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Yeah, honestly, a meal, though, is not going to hurt, so whatever.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in.
That's a first.
Wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
Well, and there's chapter... Okay, it's act. There we go. I'm probably on act like 2 or 3 on my other account. I had to figure out which number that was. So let's go in here, click commissions, accept that. Oh, right, I completely forgot that this existed. It's the Marvelous Merchandise event where... I'll just show you. We'll go here and we'll see. Okay, hold on. The chair's gonna squeak a bit. I can't sit in the same position for too long or, like, my entire body starts hurting, so I'm trying to, like... I gotta move once every so often, but every time I move, the chair just makes an what's the word for it? Oh, goodness. Unreasonable amount. There you go. Unreasonable amount of squeaking. So I try to go really slow with it, but anymore it's gotten so bad it just squeaks no matter what. I've been meaning to, put like WD-40 on it, but I've kind of gotten too lazy to the point where I just don't do it. Alright, we'll go down here to the event first. And yeah, I am kind of like taking a break from that other event right now. Or not event, but Archon Quest, because that was a lot to do. Libin, hello friend, it's been a long time, which, for those who don't know, we actually meet him, not relatively frequently, but decently enough. You see him a lot because he normally does this event where you just, well, you'll see, but you give him stuff and he gives you stuff. Hello friend, it's been a long time. Libin, I trust you've been well. Life is full of triumphs and setbacks. I've grown used to it, you know. A small illness is, oh my goodness. So I suppose you said I've been well enough. How about you? Which, I mean, I guess now we're fine, but the best event ever. You don't have to tell me twice. Get what, like maybe, gosh, 300 Primo Gems over what is probably 6 days, 7 days. Count me in. I love 300 Primo Gems. That'll give me a lot of summons, like, 1.5. We love it. Or not 1.5. It's like 1 and 3/4, maybe? I don't know. It's less than 2. And it was sarcasm, because, yeah, 300 Primo Gems. Like, I will admit, for the work I'm putting in, I'm getting a lot of Primo Gems. I will say, for the work that I literally walk over to him and click submit, I will admit it is pretty nice. We'll say not bad, I guess. We're doing fine. That's marvelous to hear. I'm overjoyed today because I've run into you once again. And anything interesting happened lately? Don't you think I ought to head to Notland and seek out new business opportunities? Seize the day and strike while the iron's hot? I don't actually want to go to Notland this time. A few days ago, I accidentally fell into a hole and spent the whole night staring at the stars. That definitely doesn't count as having been well lately. Sorry, I totally just hit the mic. But, speaking about well, if you want to get technical, he's not being well. He was in a well. Yeah, I'm leaving that out there. We're not continuing that. I just had to get that out because it was something I thought up, and I'm not gonna regret that. Anyway, I was rescued by a passing adventurer and didn't even get hungry down there. All's well that ends well. Please stop saying well. You're making me rethink that joke, and I'm gonna hate myself for it. Looking up at the stars at night, I couldn't help but wonder what lies beyond this world. Endless distance and endless worlds. Not the traveler literally having been beyond this world, but you know, it happens. You think so too, friend? More like we know. We know so, but we don't need to tell him that. I was thinking what if every single star was actually a sun, and each of those suns had a planet orbiting it that we could visit? Who's gonna break the news to him? Who's gonna do it? Because I ain't gonna do it. Or what if we could even visit every single star themselves? After all, they just give off light. Maybe they aren't even that hot. Who's going to break it to him? And also, I don't know if it's supposed to be there, but trying to trailblaze a new trade route. Trailblazer? Honkai Star Rail? I don't know if they did it on purpose or there's an accident, but it'd be really funny if this was supposed to be a purposeful reference. But, you know. Just me and my Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact and Honkai Star Rail lore off in the corner of my room. That fit dude have a problem? Oh, where did... I'll tell you his problem. He learned how to teleport. Where did he go? What? Oh, there he is. He's right. Is that... Wait, is that him? No, I think that's a different guard. Where... No, he literally just teleported. Alright. The guard's no teleportation. That makes sense, I guess. Oh, that's true. Then it'd be enough to just go look, though no one could live there like that, so I guess there wouldn't be any business opportunities. Back to the matter at hand, our old deal's still on, right? No changes. Here for my box of marbles. So yeah, going back to explaining the vent, there's not really an explanation. You, That's it. Cool. That's the event. Obviously, I haven't been doing it over the past couple days. But if you did over the past couple days, you would get 100 Primo Gems for doing it for like 5 days in a row. But I honestly forgot about doing it in my own game. I just barely remembered logging off and being like, oh, whoops, I need to do this. Wandering around a few times near you and Libin. I figured he was, but he just like, now I don't see him anymore. Like, the one time I actually started looking for him, he just disappears into thin air. I'm not gonna look for him. That's fine. He disappeared. It's okay. But yeah. If I had done it 5 days, we would have gotten this. But, as I said, I literally barely remember to do it on my own account, so... Whoops. Other than that, yes, we've done all the events. When it looks like next week we'll have... Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Is the next version update for Genshin Impact? Oh gosh. Okay, I'm not looking through articles right now because that's a lot of articles. I'm not in the mood to look through them. So either there's a new event coming or the next version update comes out literally tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. I guess it wouldn't be tomorrow. It would be Saturday. Or not Saturday. Like Wednesday. When does this end? 5 hours. No, it probably is like Tuesday the new event comes out. So we'll definitely have new content to do. Which is both good and terrifying. Because that means we have to put off the Archon Quest. Which means we don't continue the Archon Quests. Which I know sounds self-explanatory, but it's the fact that now we can't... Oh, there...
Mondstadt welcomes you.
Yeah, I welcome you too. It would have been nice to see you earlier after you disappeared. I'm watching you, Miles. Just keep walking. I do love, though, when like you're talking to an NPC on the road, and they just... Wait, were you talking about this one? Or... Why are you hiding in a bush?
Just one more.
Okay, whatever. Sure, let's go with that. I don't know what's up with them. I'm just not even gonna try. Okay. I'm thinking about wanting to do next, but... Okay, honestly, I've never seen that before. I didn't know you travel along this and it breaks. Huh. I actually have not looked at the map before and saw that. That's cool. It's a very interesting detail. I don't think I wanted to start... Because, like, I could definitely start the next Archon Quest. But honestly, that was a lot. That whole judgment sequence, that was an awful lot. So I kind of feel like I want to explore Fontaine right now. And kind of just dive around in the water and explore. So let's... Gosh, where's, like, the closest way to get to the water? I mean, I guess there? Like, every single option is, like, the worst option possible. I teleport in the city and I have to, like, climb my way out. Over here, I have to walk a decent ways away. Jeez Louise. That's fine. We'll just walk to the water and dive in and start exploring. Because we really haven't done any underwater things, I don't think. Yeah, we've done, like, maybe 1 or 2, but it wasn't a very deep underwater exploration. We just kind of dove into just touch it, but... I think it'd be fun to kind of explore the water. That's really what when this update first came out, which I know it's been a minute since we've actually, the updates come out. Because we never got to Fontaine because we didn't finish Sumeru, and we had to finish Sumeru before Fontaine and everything else. But like when the event, like when it first came out, I remember hopping on and I literally swam in the water for like, I think I messed around on this game for like 2 hours. And I was just swimming around and like exploring all the new creatures, exploring all the new environments, the mechanics of it. Like, I just think it's a very cool thing to do. And there's so much stuff to do underwater that it just feels fun. I don't know what's up with those two, but that's fine. See, I think it's something we do first. Because especially since we have time and I'm kind of burned out from the Archon Quest. Because we have like 40 minutes, and honestly, I don't think that's enough time to... Like, we would start the next Archon Quest, but we wouldn't finish it. Yeah, see, we haven't even explored this yet, because I think that's like, get into the water for the first time. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Wait, where... Wait, was the achievement up here and I missed it? Oh, water with future. Gaze upon the water beneath the surface. So yeah, like I said, we literally haven't been done. Hold on, I'm going to claim all these other achievements. A twist of great magic. The Ortrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal has delivered a verdict of not guilty. Complete prelude of Blancheur and Noircer? I'm sorry if I butchered that, but honestly, I don't know how to say those words. And for those wondering, yes, I totally just completely said the whole Ortrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal perfectly. When you play the game, or when you listen to the memes enough, you tend to get used to this kind of stuff. So yeah, here's our first, I just wanted to stop here because it's explained. Here's our first mechanic right here. So, as you can see, underwater, I don't have my elemental skills. And this is for obviously for people who don't play this game. But obviously I don't have my elemental skills anymore. It's more replaced with this little beam right here, which does do damage. I'm not going to... Not anything nearby to actually damage. It doesn't do a lot of damage, though. It's very weak. And then this is obviously how you sprint swim. This is how you... left control is how you dive. This is how you go up. And over here is the xenochromatic Fontaine aberrants. We call them the seals because they're seals. And by using the seals ability, I now have a quote-unquote elemental skill that I can use. Which, when pressed, will make little water rings. And these water rings do damage, by the way. But they also do other things, too. We just need to... What is it? There's something over here. Oh, is this time trial thing? Because there's obviously this huge chest right here in the middle that we have to unlock. And to unlock the bubble behind it, I think we have to unlock all these challenges. Activate all resonance points. Hold and to release the blubber beast sonar. So we have to do this and just... Oh, we were supposed to remember where everything was at. I'm just gonna... Can I... Oh no, it's gonna force me to keep going. So I'm just gonna keep pressing it and hopefully... Yeah, I think I totally lost it. I'm not sure where everything's at. Oh, and they disappear after a while? That stinks. Oh. Oh, it literally made a chest. Okay. Well, that's nice. Oh, there we go. Will it take me to the next point? Oh, no, it just takes me back to the middle. But yeah, as you saw, those are like little, I guess like little boosters almost. So as you're swimming, if you swim through one of those boosters, you go faster. And since we already have the ability, we don't need to do it, but I'll just kind of link back up just to make 100% certain I keep the seal's ability. Complete all the puffer fruit in 3 attacks. Wait, so like if I hold it, does it count as 1? Oh, it counts as 1. That's why. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. I was like, how am I supposed to do that in 3 rings? That doesn't sound right. And actually, I want to use those to travel over here. Because I look for hidden treasures using the Bulber Beast's sound waves. Wait, like... Oh. I definitely just trapped one of those in a box. Do I have to be inside the box when it comes up? Or did I just mess up? I think it'll disappear after a bit, so I think we have to wait until it disappears, and we have to be inside the box. Sorry, chair's gonna squeak again. I gotta move around. Okay, let's get inside the boxes. Oh no, you can't. Oh wait, hold on, something appeared over here. What is this? Oh, alright. Do it. What did I just hit? Uh-oh. I actually hit something. So yeah, I did say that they're called seals, but their actual name is blubber beasts. But once again, they're seals, so like I just call them seals. Is this okay? Wait, there's something right here. What is this? Oh, did that? Oh, it shut it off. Right? Is that what it did? Oh, it did. Alright, cool. Yeah, to kind of explain that a bit further, this thing right here, you saw it in like a blue state. While it's in a blue state, it means it doesn't really have like, you're essentially not hitting it with water. I don't know how to describe it. It has water surrounding it, but it's not counting it as water. So you have to actually use your beam attack to hit it. And when you hit it, it'll churn from blue to yellow and activate. It's a very weird concept, but it comes up a lot more later. It's just not going to explain it, though, because it's not actually a part of anything, so there's no reason to explain the concept. Oh, hello. This is like, if like the other ones were like booster pads, this is like almost like a warp gate. Essentially, they call them, you know, like rip currents and stuff. So I can't move outside of using my control keys. Like, I can move the camera a bit, but like I'm not moving anything. You just kind of travel with the blubber beast, and I guess we'll see where we go. I honestly wasn't expecting this, so I'm not sure where we're going. Oh wait, ooh, I want the waystone. Are we gonna stop in front of it? Or are they just gonna take me to it? 20,000 leagues under the sea. I'll check the achievement. What was the achievement about? Do you believe in rapture? Help a blubber beast paradise. 20,000 leagues under the sea. Go with the flow. Oh, so it's like the first time you go inside of one of those rip currents. And by the way, for those who don't know, 20,000 leagues under the sea is actually a reference to a famous book. I don't know if anyone knew that. I'm just one of those like nerds that knows a lot about everything. Oh wait, okay. I think I might have explained it, but these Osa and whatever blocks, I think you have to hit them with the same element? Nope, I was wrong. Maybe you have to do it in order? Essentially what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to hit it with the opposite element. So like obviously I have whatever, the yellow one. And then you have this, give me a second. I probably won't get it right even if I look at the name. This, the Osea? The purple one, or blue one. And you're supposed to match them up with opposite elements to make these more stabilized. So, like, if I do this, there you go. It'll turn green, meaning it's stabilized. So maybe it's the order that matters. So let's click this. Yep. I think it might have been order, which is fine. And also, might I add, you don't actually have to press left control or space to go up and down. If you actually do this, you can actually just use your camera to move up and down. I think that's what I liked most about this update, is that, like, you don't have to use your controls. You can literally use your mouse to just explore the entire ocean. Which, for me, is just such an interesting thing. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff to explore. I think what we can do is, alongside traveling and traversing the ocean, I think we should go to all these waypoints and unlock all of them. So then there's at least, like, we're unlocking the waypoints, but at the same time we're exploring, you know? it kind of gives me a reason to explore. I gotta hit this next guy perfectly. There we go. Alright, gameplay tutorial. A xenochromatic armored crab's ability. Creates a heavily armored shield capable of releasing shockwave that can shatter stones. Holding it down continually expand the shield, and when you release the skill, it releases shockwave in the direction you're aiming. If you are attacked during this time, you'll unleash an even stronger energy bolt. Fontaine's currents. Enter these strong and fast water currents and go with the flow to arrive at your destination. Although you cannot change the general direction you're moving in, you can still move around to a certain extent in these currents. Sorry, I had to check something. Mysterious clockwork mecha device created by the special energy system produced by Fontaine. It possesses 3 energy states. The blue, the green, and the yellow. The green being balance. And these states can be altered when attacked by their opposite. Among the 3, the balanced state should be the proper state objects exist in, but as with many things in the world, what is proper is rarely what is common. Whatever the Anusimano thing, energy blocks can be naturally occurring, occurring or artificially created, and are separated into the blue, and I did see you're not golden. Actually, yes, I like golden more. That makes more sense. Thank you. So yeah, we're gonna go blue and golden. Not blue and golden. It'd be golden and blue, sorry. Golden and blue. After collecting an energy block, your next normal charge or plunging attack will, upon hit, release the energy stored within them. This will become handy when adventuring in a place like Fontaine. With the aid of these energy blocks, characters can unleash golden or blue energies even while underwater. Most characters from Fontaine will have an arche, and thus can use their attacks to trigger energies corresponding to their arche attribute underwater, without the use of golden and blue blocks. What? I've never seen that. I mean, I guess I've never used a character from Fontaine underwater, but that is weird. Huh. I do have Navia, though. Or not on this account, but on my other account, so I should try that sometime. Using the Blubber Beast's sonar capabilities, or the Echoing Conscious unique properties, you can discover some locations that resonate with their effects. Sometimes these discoveries might reveal some unexpected treasures, which you kind of saw earlier. We had to, scan the area with it and find these little shiny points. Abilities of the transoceanic source water and xenochromatic creatures. Sometimes, these strange clusters of transoceanic source water will appear beside you, allowing you to unleash power using your will and deliver attacks. When attacking special xenochromatic Vortimer aberrants, their powers can be absorbed for a certain period, which, once again, you kind of saw with the Blubber Beast and the Crab. Xenochromatic Blubber Beast ability, a pulsing sonar wave that has detection-based capabilities. Holding it down will allow you to aim while continually releasing sound waves. And then Recovery Orb, which is not like an orb, it's just a bunch of fishes. It's a bunch of, I guess it's like orange and yellow and blue and basically really pretty fishes that swim in a circle together. Sometimes you use energy-emitting blocks underwater. Touching them will cause your character to absorb the energy and restore aquatic stamina and HP. So there are ways of essentially gaining energy, ways of getting stamina, actually going faster, but at the same time it also heal your character in case you get attacked. Since you can't exactly use elemental skills underwater to heal your characters. Where? It's a new. Oh my gosh, really? Another one? Honestly, that's probably why it took an hour or two to actually get through this, is because you have to read all of these to understand them. High pressure water vent. As the name suggests, it's a high pressure water vent that can spray out underwater currents and move characters or certain objects. If you have Armored Crab's shield from an armored crab, you can resist the current's propulsion. A fantastical floating ball. A mysterious sphere-shaped device that seems to be capable of detecting water pressure at certain depths. It can activate when affected by high-pressure water currents or other similar factors. The ring device will activate upon contact with the sphere due to mysterious reasons. And then the same thing, it just shows a different one. So essentially what our goal is to get it to this circle right here. So I think, so what you can do, actually hold on, let's click this. What does this do? Oh, it changes the current. There you go. And then we need to... Okay. We can't shut it off. Well, we can swap it, but we shouldn't swap it. Oh, hold on. Sorry, this is how combat is underwater, by the way. You have to actually, like, fight them like this. You can't really do anything otherwise. But obviously, this is the normal attack, which is pretty weak. That's why they recommend using this. Your abilities, which... I'm waiting for someone to attack me. And there you go. It'll do a stronger attack. And then for obviously the underwater things that are not like living creatures, like, you know, the crabs and stuff, you get these gears. And then the other stuff, you get different things, which we'll get to in a bit once we defeat one. Okay, so we use this, which swaps it over. But then you can obviously use the armor crab's ability to resist the water. And by resisting the water, you can actually do this and then stop it in general. Which doesn't seem to matter because it's not going down. Why isn't it going down? Oh, wait, because there's one of these blocks. Which you can actually use these blocks to, what is it called? You can use your crab's ability to essentially break through. Which is why now it's being sucked down with the water current. There you go. I don't know what that did. It didn't give a chest, but it did something, I guess. Cool. And I did see... I know you mentioned a code, but what's the code for? Is it like, oh gosh. What is it called? Goodness. Oh gosh, is it like a new code that Genshin released? Because I know they release codes once every so often. I tend not to do codes on this account because... I don't know why, honestly. I think mostly because I don't even do codes on my own personal account. I mostly forget. Is this... Oh, so this is the water bed. So I think this is going to rise if we block it. So let's block it real fast. And it should rise. Yep. And now both are unlocked. What? Interact. What does that do? Oh, we have to... Okay, does that mean we can go inside here? I will say this is... Oh, hello, cutscene. Very unexpected one. Hold on, give me a few seconds. I need to look at something real fast.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Ooh.
Okay, sorry, we're back. I had to look. There was something that keeps grabbing my attention.
Treasure coffin.
Just let me... I will redeem the code. Just give me a few seconds because I don't want to... I don't know exactly what in my settings is going to expose anything. So I'm going to obviously block screen and make sure everything's okay. But I will put that in real fast. Thank you for telling me because Genshin Impact does not do a very good job of sharing codes. They just kind of put them in random places and then expect people to find them. But yes, thank you for that. I really appreciate that because that is more... that is, what is that? I think it's like 30 Primo Gems more than I had originally. Which, it's sad that I have to say that, but it's better than nothing. So once again, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I'm a whole, what would it be? It wouldn't be like a fourth. It'd be like maybe like a fifth. I'm like 1/5 of a fate for that, so. Oh, I forgot you can... I also like this because I can sit and I can listen to music. Because I'm classy like that. That's how I roll, honestly. Yep, this is the rest of the stream. Hope everyone likes it. Hope you guys like the background. We're gonna be here for the next 20 minutes. That was a joke. That was it. I have more content we can explore. That was a joke. I do like the music though. I've been meaning to, but I need to go on Spotify and like essentially what I do with my own like personal Spotify playlist, I just go through and download a bunch of songs that I, you know, like I'll be listening to something and I'll be like, yo, I want that song. So I put it onto my liked song playlist. So now it's over like 400 songs long. So I just have a 400 song long playlist of just music that I want to listen to. And what's really fun is that it's all variety. So like I'll have like heavy death metal, but then next have like an anime opening, and then immediately go into some like sappy love song. My playlist is absolutely insane, and it is so much fun. I need to go through all these rings though, because I think if I go through all these rings, there might be a reward, or I just get scammed. That's fine. Entirely took me away from my destination, because I want to go to this next spot over here. Because it's another teleport point we can get to, and at the same time we're exploring while we're going. And I love how everything is super dangerous. It's funny to watch. Alright. And see, now obviously our stamina ran out, which is super cool though, is that we don't actually just immediately drown. We just lose all of our stamina and then we just can't swim. Which I love so much. I appreciate that mechanic. Is there... Oh, it's right there. Right back into the water. Right back into the water we go. Nope, we are not fighting that. Back into the water. And it can't chase me either, so what is it going to do about it? Dang robots. I guess it's like mechas, but still. Same difference. Come on, attack me. Do it. Do it, attack me. It'd be funny. Wait, what the? It just regenerated. What are you doing? There we go. Oh. I thought that was going to give me something. Oh, this might, though. Oh, it's a Sela, or Zeely. Where did it go? Where did it get? It just disappeared. Did it go above the water and I missed it? I'm very confused right now. I just lost it. How did I lose it? That is insane. Is it above the water? No, it's not above the water. I don't know where it went. It genuinely disappeared from me. Oops. Well, that stinks. Oh no, wait, did it... It went back. It's over here. That's why it disappeared, because I couldn't see it anymore. Okay, so there should be another one. It's this way. We're gonna try to find all these and then unlock this conch thing in the middle. It should be... Oh, it's being bullied. Alright, someone hit me. Do it. And last regret. Jeez Louise, they just disappear. There we are. Time to get this thing back home, which... Yep, it already went. Okay. So now our main goal is to... It's to find the last one, which is over here. Yep, okay. And it's this way. Let's go find this last one and get it activated. Where's it at? Is it in this thing right here? Oh, yeah, there's a new mecha. I'll battle that after I grab this and... Oh, hold on. After I grab this. And then put it over here. And yeah, you can aim with the left click. You can actually aim as well. Yeah, well, so we'll battle these. It's not very difficult to battle them. They're just basic enemies, honestly. We do need to fight some organic creatures, though, because those do drop different things. And we can attack some of these smaller ones. I hate having to do it, but unfortunately that's the only way you get stuff, so... Come on. Jeez Louise. Yeah, as you can see, we get these transoceanic pearls. Which... Oh, hello. New enemy. And lost pretty much all of its HP. And it happened again. Yeah, so we get pearls for that. Which you need for some character ascensions. Actually, I think Lenny might need those for character ascensions. I'm not sure though. I think he does though. And thanks to our shield, we don't take any damage. So that's kind of nice. What does this conch do though? Activate the echoing conch. Oh? The fish are coming together? What are they doing? Oh my gosh, what just happened? Oh, they're getting us a chest. Oh, that is fantastic. I love that a lot. That's awesome. Alright, where next? We're going to... Hold on, wait. Where's the... This is actually really cool. Oh wait, I think this leads us to the hydroculus. Oh no, wait, it's raining. I'm gonna get wet. Oh wait, I was just underwater.
Lightning! Let's bolt!
Hu Tao, please never say that again. Like, my jokes are bad too, but... Yep, I was right. Cool. And then we can just... Is there anything we want up here, though? Like, is there any way... Any teleport points? No, okay. I will start flying this way, though. Yeah, I'm gonna start flying this way since it's underwater. So we'll glide a tad bit just to get there faster. Because, like, yeah, underwater is fast, but it's also, you can also look above the water. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff like that. And that gigantic ball of water just sitting in the distance. Oh, I went past it. Whoopsie. Time to go back underwater, I guess. And look, there it is right there. Actually, wait, let's do this one first. What is this? Within 3 attacks. Where? Oh, we use crab. Okay, that's fine. Oh. I guess those count as attacks. We had to restart it. Whoops. Okay, let's do this. Oh, well, that's not gonna win us. Oh, that somehow... How do you... Am I just doing something wrong? Because that seems like that shouldn't work. Can I... Wait, do I hit it right here? Okay, I really don't get this. What's going on? Yeah, like, it seems random. Because I put it in the same spot and it just... Yeah, something's not right here. Okay, that did one. What if I get closer? Would that work? No, it doesn't. What? How do you do this? I'm very confused. Because I was wondering if it's like an explosion that comes out from... Oh, wait a minute. Can I... Really? Really? Okay, well... That makes life easier. I should have thought of that in the first place. That's my bad. Let's... This is a new mechanic as well. But I think it's relatively the same. You have to find the purple and blue blocks. Or not purple and blue blocks. The things. And you have to bring them back to this. Let's open this up. Is it in here? Yep, there it is. Yeah, we just have to essentially keep balancing it. It just doesn't take one hit, it takes multiple. And it'll summon enemies too. That's all it is. It's nothing special. And see, so like now we have to... Oh, sorry, we have to finish this last enemy off. There we go. So now we have to rebalance them. So now it's blue, and now we need to find... We have to find the golden one. Okay, so I am going to go gameplay tutorial for this because it kind of needs a bit of explaining. A dangerous underwater life form that can fire energy bolts at nearby creatures. Holding down the armored shield can allow it to absorb attacks and release them as energy bolts, giving your attackers a taste of their own medicine. So essentially you have to use the charged attacks. The charged shield attacks for it to actually do, to actually break these barnacles. If you just throw a random bullet at it, it's not going to do anything. The underwater survey mech. I'm not going to read this because it's just an enemy, but new enemy. Also new enemy, the underwater patrol mech. A blubber seahorse, once again, new enemy. We'll read this one. The golden blue storage box. A super safe storage box that absolutely cannot be opened in any way. That is, unless someone manages to figure out if the energy is emitting is golden or blue, and uses an attack charge with the opposite alignment to strike, overload, and unlock it. So once again, we've done it before. It's relatively straightforward. If it's golden, you use blue. If it's blue, you use golden, and it becomes balanced and breaks apart. Echoing conch. There seemed to be a special biological device made by some ancient civilization of Fontaine, created for various types of training. When activated, it generates visible sound waves that can detect invisible objects. So the echoing conch we got is more of a special type. Normally they'll just do the blubber beast's ability where it shows you stuff through walls. But obviously the one we did was a bit more special, so it did something different. But the same concept still applies. And there we go. We unlocked all of it. We got a new chest. Let's unlock this point. And then I think, if I'm correct, yeah. So what we might do is, can we make it to this next point? Yeah, let's make it to this next point, and then I'm gonna call it a day. We'll go back to the Adventurers Guild, get our daily commissions and stuff, because I don't think we have. I don't think so, anyways, right? Yeah, we need to go back and grab those. So we'll go to the Adventurers Guild, do those, and then we'll call it a day, since it's getting pretty close to time right now. So let's just travel over here, grab this waystone, as much as I want to explore, but I don't want to explore right now because I need to do this first. But as you can see, I have very good reason for liking this. The underwater mechanics and swimming is so much fun. I just love doing it so much. Being able to swim, because I've been swimming, competitively swimming for I'll say 10 years of my life. I was first put into a pool at age of 2 to 4. Basically, not even before I was really able to walk and stuff, I was swimming. So I've always loved water my entire life. So just doing this in game and being able to swim around and see all the beautiful fish and scenery, I was so happy. I was overjoyed. Alright, claim adventure rank. Oh, we got a new brilliant diamond, which you use to ascend the traveler. But we are rank 42 now, so that's cool. And then dispatch character on expedition, which we'll do again. A bunch of new areas, which I probably should put some characters on expeditions there, but we'll do that next time. And that is it. Let's claim this. Is there anything else we need to claim? Achievements. These are a few of my favorite things. Also a song. An eye for an eye. Take care of those annoying bullet barnacles. Is there any more achievements? Nope. Okay, I think that is it then. So, yeah, I think we're going to call it a day here. Thank you so much for everyone who...
But when the moon's out, bathe in moonlight.
Are you done, Hutao? Thank you. Thank you for everyone who came out today. I really appreciate the company so much. And for those watching this back later, thank you so much for watching. And, yeah, I think that will be it for today. And once again, our next stream is on Friday on Honkai Star Rail. I hope to see everyone there, and yeah, hope everyone has a fantastic time until then. This